Hey, it's David with Beyond the Clef, and I'm here with my great friend, Marianne White. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Now, we have a great history with the show. You were one of our first people on the show back when it was my guest room, right?
Yeah, guest room for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and then also you were one of the kind of founding members, I think, of this whole idea. We did some things together, so
Yeah.
you're always welcome on the show. And
Thanks.
You have just a wealth of knowledge. And so tell us a little bit. You have a clinic tomorrow. We're at TMEA 2020 when we're filming this. You have a clinic tomorrow talking about Google Classroom and how you use that in the band world. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Definitely, and it's kind of Google everything. I love all things Google, and so I think it has a lot of potential to help you just stay organized and help you share things easily with your students and their families, and just helps you to be really efficient. So Google Classroom with my students, I use it mostly as like a hub for information, and I do have them record things and upload them, like playing tests and things like that, but mostly I use it as a way to communicate with them really easily and allow them to have conversations with each other also. I teach a college course as well, and that is like the only spot for the class. And so I use Google Classroom in two pretty different ways that are cool and pretty unique.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So for people that don't know, Google Classroom is not necessarily something that is really you have to pay for or a service. Can somebody access it without maybe the district buying it for them?
It's a great question. You can, but it's actually illegal to add students that are under 18 to your personal Google Classroom account.
Right.
And,
okay.
yeah, illegal might be a tough, that might be kind of
Right.
harsh, but you're not supposed to do that.
Right.
So
Okay, so then if I want to implement this, I really need to go through my IT department.
Definitely.
And how can I advocate that this is a great thing for the kids, for an IT administrator, for instance?
I would go to the Google for Education website, and they have tons of just reasons why you should be using it, and they have lots of great tutorials also. So I would share that information, and really any IT person now should kind of at least have an idea of what it is. But the fact that you can assess students online and communicate with them and share videos with them, great listening examples, you can give them a Google form that's a music theory assessment kind of a thing. The fact that you can do all of that without paying for it is pretty incredible. So that alone, I think, would be a good sell.
Can you give me an example of a time when you had a kid, that student success example, the kid that was really getting something out of this in your past and you're working with us?
Just last week, I had an oboe player. I share videos of really high quality tones and good musical performances on Google Classroom, and I had an oboe player who was just really excited that she found her own videos to share with me, and so she emailed those to me so that I could send them to everybody else. So that's kind of cool that they are kind of mimicking what I'm doing.
Right.
They're seeking out their own great musical examples.
Right, and
Yeah.
my district actually uses Microsoft Teams, which is a similar system on the Microsoft end, and I had a student, this trumpet player that always chats on there to the whole group, and my top band has a classroom, and she, of course, sent a meme. That was a band director meme, but it was funny, and then the kids kind of comment on it, and everybody likes it, so it's
cool
a great little communicator. It's a classroom outside of the classroom.
Absolutely. It's like an extension.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's cool, too, because in the classroom, we do have a structure that is not conducive sometimes verbally socially, right? Just talking with kids, because we are rehearsing. There are those moments before class, before school, after school, but sometimes there's not moments for them to collaborate with their own ideas. This gives them another avenue, maybe at lunchtime. Sometimes they let them do homework, and
Sure.
to get on their phone or something. But even in the evening, they're practicing something, and they're like, hey, I literally had a kid upload the recording and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this. What do you think? And other kids were replying back to it.
Yeah. I love the sense of community that it fosters, and they're used to that too. They do that on social media already. So if we can train them to communicate in a positive way about something that's positive and not bullying or whatever in this controlled environment, I think that's a really important skill for them in life also.
And so many people kind of get afraid about the internet side of things, but really it's just like a classroom, right? And everybody sees it. You see it as the teacher, so it's not like they're going to be blasting it with something crazy just because it's the internet. And it's the same thing. If somebody were to do something inappropriate in your classroom, they would have consequences.
You can address it, yeah. And there's no student-to-student communication that I can't see. So they can't send another student a message or anything. And yeah, I think it's a really nice training tool for things other than music even, just learn how to be a good, responsible person on the internet.
So where can people find more of your content?
Sure, I've got a website, thatflippingbanddirector.com.
Love the name.
Thank you. And I'm on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, That Flipping Band Director.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks.